In February 2022, Vladimir Putin managed to alienate the civilized world and Slovakia by launching his disastrous war on Ukraine, and was left with only a handful of real friends who live by the code "bros before wars." However, with the conflict entering its second year and the sanctions turning Russia's GDP into that of a sheltered workshop, Putin's BFFs are leaving him one by one, and the annual Kremlin circle jerk is getting sadder and sadder. So who's left, and what does a lonely and abandoned Putin mean for all of us? People keep forgetting how extremely popular Vladimir Putin used to be. He was like a bag of Ritalin at a spelling bee. All the cool kids were into him. Here he is with Silvio Berlusconi, after finally having captured James Bond. Here he is assuring Obama there's nothing wrong with drone striking an Arab wedding. And here he is telling the Pope he can come clean about the gays with good old Vlad. All of that ended with the war, and so Putin has to rely on his closest crew of dudes who share his vision that human rights are for fucking animals. But now, one by one, even those guys are dunking on him. The first one to go all Rachel on Putin was the Kazakhstani president, the beast from the east, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, who backstabbed Vlad by not recognizing the latest extension to the Russian Empire without even offering his own country instead. Then Putin was snubbed by Armenia's Nikol Pashinyan, who refused to host Russian-led military exercises, stating that he'd rather have his army trained with some more capable fighting force, like the cast of season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm talking specifically to you, diabetic, you mean bitch. Putin's relationship with the Chinese Emperor Xi still exists, but his status has changed from being a BF to having to offer a BJ. However, the latest backstab that's gotta hurt the most was getting abandoned by Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić, who kinda looks like Tokayev before he fought the Balrog and was reborn. Serbians traditionally love Russia more than they love minced meat and whitewashing war crimes. So for Putin to screw that relationship had to take real effort. All Putin has now are Kim Jong-un, Alexander Lukashenko and Bashar al-Assad. And that's a hard round of fuck, marry, kill if I've ever seen one. Putin essentially ended up like Kanye West. Although he says he's fighting the Nazis, while Kanye says he's fighting the Jews. But actually, it's Putin who's fighting the Jews. Anyway, as many psychologists and other experts have argued in recent years, losing human connections is extremely detrimental to one's well-being. The feeling of loneliness damages physical health and leads to anxiety and even depression.
Human being being acutely lonely is as bad for your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. If you become really lonely, that releases as much of the stress hormone cortisol as if you are punched in the face by a stranger. This is a terrible thing for us.
Oh yeah, 15 cigarettes and a punch in the face. Or as Amber Heard calls it, breakfast. This is how loneliness affects everybody. But now we're talking about the rapidly aging Tsar of Russia with his finger on the big red button. We cannot have the man with the greatest capacity for destruction on the face of the planet feel as lonely as Akon. I'm sorry to say it, but this is on you as much as it is on anyone. Do you want a world to keep existing? Yes? So will you be Putin's friend? Are you good at faking losing in sports? Do you have a natural immunity to Novichok? Are you trying to get slim to look great in your new borders? Do you think that getting just 100% of the vote is kinda lame? Are you reasonably skilled at base jumping and always carry a parachute? Do you enjoy hunting pheasants, peasants and journalists? Are you fond of extending 3-day wars by more than 100-fold? Become Putin's new friend and save the world. But before you do, make sure to subscribe to our channel, check out this video about another hardcore Eastern European leaders, or this one.